Welcome back, everyone. We are here with more round 2 action. We're actually how professional are we? We've bought we bought a game in mid-game.
Backup feature
match. Gavin Thacker, we know from being in the final previously against Jose from Bristol. RCQ, day 2 himself.
Yeah. He's a very, very good player.
We are
spicy as well.
So therefore, we are going to see Jose going, by the looks of it, down to 6. But on the play, Gavin, known for Eldrazi.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he's on it today, but
I don't think he is. But I remember someone saying a different deck. But
okay, it is.
It has failed me.
And Jose, my fellow Grease Sang alumni, he loves a combo, and usually you'll find him playing a combo.
Literally doesn't.
And
so I don't think Jose is actually playing a combo deck today.
Oh my gosh, I'm like the worst researcher in the whole world.
So you know, any other time I probably would have said yes, Jose's on some form of combo deck, but I think he is playing. Well, from what I saw anyway, at least blue-white Affinity.
Yeah, and hopefully the ad has got 20 seconds left. So if you push through the ads, because you are a legend and you've either got ad blocker or you have dropped us a sub.
Please support us.
But the game is starting just as the ads are finishing. He's on blue-white Affinity, but looks of it from what I can see in hand. So
something with Seachrome Coast here and just pass. That was it was those on our facts. Yeah, Gavin has an Eldrazi. Oh, okay. I was wrong. It does happen every so often.
It's just a double bluff, right?
Yeah.
Are you playing the same deck? No, I'm not. Yes, I am.
I thought someone said something different, but it's fine. The information was terrible. Listen to your friends.
How does that stack up as far as a meta shot? Eldrazi in a good spot, or is this something Artifacts can push through?
So it really, really depends on the build of Eldrazi. If this is creature, what I would call more creature-based Eldrazi, so leaning on your Sire's 7 Deaths, World Breakers, stuff like that, over.
We saw Ramp last time. We saw the Emrakul.
He's playing the mono black version.
No, that's a forest.
Is it?
That's a forest.
It looks like a swamp on the screen. Goddamn magic and the ridiculous art. It looks like a swamp to me, but that's fine.
You're watching Universes Beyond. That'll actually be a mono white land. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I say, if this is the version of Ramp, playing a bunch of creatures, the Artifact deck has got a little bit more leeway. But if this is...
a Prosperous Incubator? No.
Lion Halfling.
Oh, yeah, Halfling.
Oh, no, this is Broodscale. I knew it was an Eldrazi. I mean, technically, there is an Eldrazi in the deck, but...
Yeah, this deck's really well positioned against the, overall Magic and, I would say, the local meta.
Yeah. It's a very resilient deck as well, I find. Because you are just playing one of the most powerful cards in Modern right now, which is Kozilek's Command.
Yes.
Just the ability to go, I'm going to make a load of mana.
Hello. They're talking about lots of mana.
So we've got Bauble Emery here for Kappa Cannoneer, Portable Hole, Tameo, and another Kappa Cannoneer. But really tough to see a lot of Kappa Cannoneers go away.
Yeah.
If he has the answer for Emery. If he doesn't have the answer for Emery, you're almost laughing. Because you get to cast that Kappa Cannoneer, and that's really what you want to see early doors.
Not often do you not see baubles not cracked.
Yeah,
it's just I need this resource. This is mana for me right now.
This is 0 mana plus 1 mana next turn, basically.
Interesting decisions, because obviously Gavin was looking to their own good spot, but I think he's probably recognising that, I don't deal with this Emery. I am staring down big Kappa Cannoneers for a couple of turns.
And that Kappa, if you don't deal with Emery, that Kappa Cannoneer is going to be always unblockable and always growing. But we have got a Pithing Needle from the side of Gavin here, so I'm wondering what that named early doors. Maybe, I don't know, took a stab and said it was Belcher, if he knows what Jose's been playing recently.
Potentially. Really. Good Rumble.
So we got a little bit.
We got Command, we got Saga.
I'm trying to read the piece of paper on the Pithing Needle. But no, we'll have to get our boys on the floor on that one. So that was a Rumble, wasn't it?
Yes. So they're kind of posturing up against each other here, aren't they? With okay, well, I'm not going to deal with your Emery, but I'm going to get loads more resources for my own combo.
Absolutely.
And try and get something established before I can be... Because ultimately, your Capricorn has got to enter... Unless there's Lava Spirit Boots around,
You got to untap.
You got to untap with it.
But he is searching with Saga.
This is almost it. I would wager the rest of my monster on this being a Lava Spur boost.
It's either a Lava Spur Boots, or if you've got main deck Piffy Needle, you're potentially looking at that. Or
actually, we're all wrong. It's Spellbomb. Oh no, it's Piffy Needle. Yes, it's
the Tattoo Secret Lair art.
That is a lovely art.
It's beautiful.
It's also very expensive, Piffy Needle. This man's won a lot of ticks in Axiom events to be able to afford it.
They're just flexing on everyone. Yeah, but yeah, like I say, you are worried that Gavin's going to untap and win the game.
Not the best.
Excuse me. And yes, you're making yourself a little bit slower in result, but it's better to go slower and not lose and potentially win the game over losing the game.
Absolutely.
And that sounds a really silly thing to say. It's very Michael Owen level commentary.
But you are right though. You have to kind of like realize a certain situation when you're on these sort of like pseudo combo decks against each other. Like you just want to get to a point. You have to want to buy enough turns.
Exactly.
You've also got like where you can shut down their aggression, their route to aggression, and they're both well positioned in reality to be able to do that against each other.
So Emery here, looking like maybe it's going to target Paul. I'm not so sure if he pulled it to Capicani or Paul Hole there, but we'll see very quickly.
It's like something tree going around here. It's trying.
So it looks like he's got a ball, opal there as well for a little bit of extra mana. Obviously, Metalcraft is live right now, so you're probably looking at about 3 mana, 4 with the floating Saga as well.
Yeah, there's
so with Gavin, it's a straight up 2 card combo, right?
Yeah.
So if he gets the blood sheath, and he gets to the Broodscale, he just wins.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing another Kozilek's command here after sacking the spawn. And let's not forget, he does have a Saga on board, so he's representing, I have a second piece, I just need to find my Broodscale. So really interested to see what the modes are. Here, I would wager making spawns is one of them. Yep, and there we are. So make some spawns and exile a card from the graveyard. Exile that Capicania and that Portable Hole.
Yeah, and that's definitely the good thing about slowing the opponent down. Like, you may not be winning soon.
When a Capicania from hand.
Oh, from hand.
Yeah. And he is not representing Metallic Rebuke here, so he is just saying, if you've got it...
You got it, my friend.
But his Saga's still on 1, going up to 2 this turn, still another turn before he's able to dig into that deck for the Blade of the Blood Chief. And another Saga follow-up.
So almost like a backup Saga in relation to any disruption. There is the Blade. The Blade is...
The Blade, yep. And there's a Glaring Flesh Raker, which is...
This is like the other way.
Yeah.
Like, this is the when I'm shut out of my main way, this will tick you down enough that I'll win anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the Blade of the Blood Chief. Triggers, casting a colourless card. A little bit of damage coming Jose's way. So Glaring Flesh Raker is a messed up card.
It very much is. Very understated.
Yeah.
There's now found its way into lots of different little cheeky combo decks, and also Legacy as well as Modern. So you do have to watch out for these.
You die very quickly.
You die very, very quickly. However, the Kappa, the big old Kappa Cabanea.
Jose getting to untap here was fantastic there, because it very much, even if his hand is only interaction, for example, he can still be going crack bauble, Emery, get another bauble back, make that Capicania unblockable again. Not that you're really worried about any of the creatures on board at the moment, but it's still nice to keep growing that Capicania, and ultimately Jose's really looking to probably close this game out in 2 turns. That's what he wants to do. He wants to have this turn, attack for enough that he's going to be able to kill next turn.
Feel a little bit like looking to try and win in 2 turns, regardless, and like you kind of, maybe that opportunity for Jose to interact is gone.
Yeah.
And now it's Kappa. It's
Kappa's world.
It's Cannon's out.
We're just living in it.
And we're living in it. Yeah. You're 100% right. It's Capicania is going for it.
Yeah.
Gavin's got 2 cards in hand. Like, I guess Like,
Yeah.
there's ultimately lots of ways he can find pieces here. I did just see a Utopia sprawl, which
So it's
is
going
not one of the things he wants to see.
Yeah, but let's not. I mean, Ward 4 is tough for Gavin. I don't think that may as well read Hexproof.
Yes.
Because I don't think he's going to be able to put enough mana here, even if he maybe had an Oath for Spellbomb in his deck to find with as a Saga to really be able to realistically bounce it. Because right now Jose is saying, I'm not going to interact. I'm not representing Metallic Rebuke because I don't have enough artifacts. I've only got the one blue source. Maybe a Spell Pierce if he plays that, but I doubt it if you've got Metallic Rebuke in your deck. And really and is saying, can you kill me this turn? If you can't kill me this turn, you're dead.
Yeah,
And that's the position Jose's got to put him in.
Yeah, so is there any way you can potentially gain life? Oh, hey, where am I?
Hey, well, I might. Yeah. So he's got one floating right now. So I see 4 total mana. He's got spawns as well. So the spawns will give him enough mana to get through the ward on Kappa Cannoneer.
That's a
Just
really...
as I was saying, it was hexproof.
It's virtually that, but like that's a little bit like what we saw for the earlier game with Zoo. With Zoo, like you feel bad doing things with Tribal Flames, like that. But I guess this is one of those that I'm dead if I don't. So
Exactly, and I think that's just. I think his hands are a bunch of versus sagas, a bunch of like pieces that he's not really coming together on.
To sort of go about, hey, but what about the new card from the new set? This is the kind of time when Nature's Rhythm would have had time to shine, or in reality, though, you should just play Green Sun Zenith to go,
Absolutely.
At 3 mana, I win the game at this point. But, it's all a bit of recency bias. That's some terrible deck building. That's okay. So take
Piffing Needle, so that probably represents he's going to kill him this turn.
because that was on Broodscale, I'm guessing.
I presume it would be on either Blade of the Blood Chief or Broodscale. You don't need to. It would be Blade of the Blood Chief. Because Broodscale doesn't have an activate ability you really care about. You can stop the adapt, but he's already got spawns. So the adapt line of starting the combo that way. But I think this might just be checking how much life Jose's on and seeing if he can make a big enough Glaring Frustrator to
just win.
mop him.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's really going to be possible. And you can go, I'll make a big enough blocker.
Because it's likely Jose is going to have...
and Jose is untapping, yeah, he's got to feel great. Unless you've got a way to stop this Emery looping the baubles, these big turtles are going to be unblockable. And depending on the structure of Jose's hand as well, like even just the Emery could be, okay, force it with Emery, and then I might have another card in hand to do it with anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now these Capricorn is going to be unblockable. He's going to play another bauble just in case he was running out of cards at any point. So that's 8 and 7. And maybe she's
Sure. We're gonna go game 3.
So I think if you're getting the Haywire Might there, I think it was a little bit of a misplay. I think maybe he just didn't count how many spawns he had.
Yeah.
It's a losing line in the sense of you're not winning, but he is dead on board.
Yeah. The hopefully getting their line was wrong.
And I still forget every single time Haywire Might is non-creature. I've been talking about it for the last 20 minutes, and it was the same last game.
Yeah.
If nothing else, chat, I'm extremely consistent.
But you do have to think your lines out as well. That's what probably an understated part of like tournament Magic. We're all used to sort of like jamming games on Arena or Magic Online nowadays, where like you can kind of like go, oh look, I'm dead here, I'm going to save time.
Yeah.
Like something about being in this type of arena, you do need to take your time. You do need to reassess what you're looking at, and like this is your time to sort of like analyze and sort of you got your hand trackers and stuff online. So you don't have that here now. You have your recall, you have your memory, and you have your thought process about 2 turns ago what did he do? Like was he happy about his hand? Was he setting something up? Which may find you that little line where you'll go down to 1.
Yeah.
But actually, you'll that you'll at least have a 5% chance of winning that one.
Well, and this is a brilliant story to roll on to, is in the RCQ last weekend, I was game 2 against Living End with Kefis, and I looked at my board and I went, my only out here is if I've got exactly 20 cards if I mill 3 with Jace Perfected Mind. If I draw a Mox Amber, because I've already played land for turn, and a Agatha Soul Cauldron, I win the game. And that's my only out. And I milled my 3, didn't mill them, drew 3, Mox Amber, Soul Cauldron. and that is it. And it's just being able to understand your deck and go, these are my outs, this is what I have to play to. And I was a lucky bugger, but
that's where modern comes. That's where modern shines, right? And the ability to sort of like take a deck, master it, and learn your micro decisions. You don't really see that in standard decks because they're not around long enough for you to be able to like have spent that long with them. In modern, you can have that micro line of where I'm going to take that 20% matchup to 25%.
Exactly.
Because of the way I can win in a certain situation.
Deck mastery is huge in the RCQ level.
Oh,
it's triple bauble. We call that in the business a new hand. So, and an Emery to follow.
And an Amber.
An Amber, a Consigned to Memory, a Capricornia, and a Capricornia in the graveyard. That's a moment. Blistering start. That is a blistering start from Jose there.
I think, chat, you've just literally been here for the moment where like a YouTube short is just cut. Or how many cards can you play on turn 1?
Yeah, I mean, it's up there. He's still got 2 cards in hand. He could have played those, really. I think that's a bit selfish of Jose, really.
It could have been Mox Opal, Mox Amber.
Yeah, exactly.
And would have been much different. But Gavin's deck can go quickly as well.
Exactly. I mean, if he leads out here with something like a Broodscale.
If he just jams Broodscale and says, take me, bro, most of the time, actually, they don't.
And that's a Flesh Raker.
It's a Flesh Raker, see? So,
that's like certainly going, all right, you want a quick clock? I'm going to put a quick clock down too.
Because despite the strength of this board, there is no damage coming Gavin's way next to it.
Exactly, yeah.
So, Gavin gets 2 turns, regardless here. So he's going to start cracking the ball. So I'm going to start cracking the balls. I'm going to start seeing what I'm up against.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than when you see the top here and you go, that's the out.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you bobble them, you see the Ajani. When they've got the Ajani on board, that's the, oh dear.
Yeah.
No. So in terms of casting Gapanier this turn, we've got 3. He needs to make 6, so he needs to play a land and probably 2 more artifacts to even cast Gapanier this turn.
Yeah.
Because he needs to make a 6 total with the improvise.
You must. Well, harder than it was.
Seen a lot of Spire Industries today. A bit of a sleeper hit for Modern.
Yeah, it's like not being a card we've seen, but it's turning on strategies clearly, is there? Saga's good. Yeah. Good start.
Yeah, no, great start. Yeah, okay, so we're probably going to cast, I'm guessing, Bauble here.
Bauble or get an Amber? No, not too early for an Amber. You still want to have card selection.
So what's he playing? And he's going to dispatch that. Yeah, fantastic. Just get that out of here.
Another card that, again, we hadn't seen in rounds 1 and 2.
Yeah,
we're in round 3, right? And we're seeing dispatch.
A double dip on this, yeah.
A lot.
It's cards like Dispatch, cards like Spire Industry are starting to tick up now because people are starting to realise that Mox Opal is a very powerful card.
Got to see Voice of Victory like in almost every boss deck.
Yep.
But lots of mana for Gavin.
So it looks like a Cavern of Souls.
We'll be naming Eldrazi.
Maybe Angels, who knows? Probably I was it that. No, I'm messing around.
Back to Pioneer Day. It's Pioneer Day though. Pioneer Day on Arena today.
Is it?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
It's time to crack out the old hits and go in some gems.
Yeah, so probably just in the tank here because I like he's not in a terrible position, Gavin. Like he still has plenty of time. Like you're looking at currently 5 mana, so a land lets them the Kappa Cannoneer fly next turn. So, but then that's still tapping out for Kappa Cannoneer, giving me another turn.
But I think also he's got to recognise that like he's behind.
Like Gavin is absolutely behind. Yeah, absolutely.
So like Gavin's behind, so because he needs to stay ahead, and the pressure will kill him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
That's what we saw last game, didn't it? Capricornia came down, Capricornia didn't get answered, Capricornia won the game. And looks like Broodscale?
Yeah, there's the Broodscale. So this does change things.
Yes, absolutely. So he's straight away adapting it and getting that spawn.
Because now you have to respect a little bit like if you played Pauper any time over the last year, like you could be uninteractably dead soon.
Yep, absolutely. If if Gavin just goes Blade of the Blood Chief next turn, and like there's a possibility he could play around Metallic Rebuke as well. Drop a land, play Blade of the Blood Chief. That's enough mana for Metallic Rebuke straight up. I mean, he's already playing around it with the spawn, but you really need the spawn to start the engine going.
Yeah.
So Jose's just going to have another look at see what's going on the top of his library.
Took a bit of an interesting pause there. I wonder if that's I've just seen the deck, the card that kills me.
Yeah.
He's a turn away from Saga actually going and getting the Pithing Needle and maybe buying him some time. And having to shock the Harrow Fountain in. So there's a purple hole.
Which is from the Broodscale player's perspective, if I've got the answer portable hole, I'm actually quite happy to see a portable hole here.
Yeah, because you just get it when you need it, right?
Yeah, it's get it when you need it, and it also resets the adapt. So in the event that this Scion needs to be used for some reason, you're able to adapt it and start the chain again.
Absolutely.
It's the old Storm thing where they put, I don't know, your Ruby under like a static prison. You're absolutely happy with that because at any point it's 1 mana, get my Ruby back and start going. But
so it
looks like we're Capricorneering here.
Absolutely.
From hand.
I see. If you did you on camera that the time of the round was just called. I see this is a bit more time is for this particular game, probably around about 10 minutes, due to the fact that they not only deck checked, but we moved them onto the feature table. So thanks to Gavin and Jose for that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Sick.
So the clock, the true clock's now started because the Cannoneer is basically you got to, if you and Gavin's shoes go, I'm dead in 2 turns.
Yep.
So I need to win in 2 turns.
Well, he's on 20, so he's worried about again the same thing happening again where Jose goes, okay, cast my Kappa Cannoneer from the graveyard. Now you're dying because just one Cannoneer is not maybe too bad for you here. It's probably like a 2 or 3 turn clock. More like 3, but if you see the second Capricornia, that it represents so much uninteractable damage. So you really do need to start thinking about what's my line to win this game here.
Then you're going to or a dead put.
You really would love a rumble.
And it looks like that's what it's going to be here, sacking the spawn for the rumble. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So make the new spawn, top 4.
Is that a green Sun Zenith we see on the bottom?
Oh, it looks like an Ancient Stirrings.
Ancient Stirrings.
I believe.
Good.
Agva's Soul Cauldron's an interesting one here. So and maybe this is, I'm a little bit unfamiliar with this Broodscale deck. Because what are you looking to put underneath the Agva Soul Cauldron?
I guess you're looking to put your Broodscale. You put the Broodscale, then when you got a Flash Breaker, right? And then you get your adapts.
Oh, sweet.
No, so the ability is not tied to an activated ability though. It only gives you the activated ability.
Okay, yeah.
So
the Flash Breaker and for the boost, I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Like I say, I am.
This will be an interesting post request. Like we'll ask Gavin out on the floor in a bit. Like obviously again, fully respected for all the players. They're all here trying to win, and their deck's their deck. So we'll get a bit of post analysis on that one.
Yeah, but Agva Soul Cauldron is a messed up card.
But it's not dead.
If anyone's ever played Jamal for longer than 5 minutes with this deck, then you'll find
that's true. That's true.
Agva Soul Cauldron, lots of weird stuff.
It's the Yawgmoth himself.
Yeah.
You see him in the chat today. Shout out to Jamal.
So Beseiju
here. I'm interested by the playing of Beseiju here. Probably indicates that he has got another answer in hand.
Oh, okay.
Looks like it's a Kozilek's command.
He's answering the Emery, the Kozilek's command.
Giving himself another turn. But yeah.
Looking for spawns, I guess, as well?
I think you almost always do spawns unless you've got a board state of spawns already. Basically getting a mana rebate and doing whatever you wanted for 2 mana is just always fantastic.
And then sitting top and he said that.
Yeah, because you'd have thought your Beseiju was going to be needed to blow up the portable hole, right?
That's just where my head was, which probably indicates that we've got something else that's going to deal with this portable hole. Otherwise, you'd be holding on to that beside you for dear life.
Yeah, because mana's not really a problem, because like you say, you just keep recycling in spawns.
I mean, stripped up Mount Plot.
So we'll read about the Soul Cauldron. Yeah.
This is the interesting difference between an RCQ and an F&M, because in an F&M you'd like just purely say like, so how are you going to kill me with this?
yeah, absolutely.
Whereas Jose's been around long enough to realize that like there's got to be a really big reason for why this thing is now going to be a problem for me.
You know, there is some interesting lines that Gavin can take where he's turning his creatures into cards like Emery.
True.
With the Soul Cauldron. So, you know, there's a lot of interesting stuff you can do with that card.
Yeah, because that would be 4 activations, right? Well, no, because he's got a counter. So yeah.
But the population is on these big
But it is it's an interesting line. But obviously Gavin's just keeping it in hand for now. Doesn't really need to run it out yet.
source. So let's leave it.
He's got 1 card in hand other than the Soul Cauldron.
Yeah. So the Soul Cauldron came back off the Rumbles, so he's keeping it interesting to keep it like face up. Like,
yeah, so you're at Compiaria, like you've got to, you know, that's another thing is you've got to make your opponent do the right things, whether that's writing your cards down in hand or whatever. You know, it's maybe the sportsman's play.
or is it gamesmanship play?
Yeah,
I'm letting you know I got it.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So you try and deal with this.
That's the beauty of paper magic, is mind games, and trying to read your opponent comes in big.
I've been there on many earlier days of my Magic career where, like, I've seen it online so many times, and then in paper played around it because of my expectation of the way my player was playing. They never had it just because.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've seen some of our like higher level people, obviously regular in Cardiff, Ben Jones. I've watched him hold 1 card in hand for 7 or 8 turns, and it always be a land. But like the player has respected that they've probably got an answer and waited.
Yeah, that's a classic. But Piffing Needle here from Jose, like that's you're
so much mana,
layering hate piece after hate piece after hate piece. Now it's putting Gavin on you need to have 2 answers. And this is why he had to get rid of Emery, was because any hate piece he removed, Emery can get back.
I'm worried.
So just a little thing here. He's got a lot of mana here, Gavin. He's got, he's got 4 normal lands. Well, he's got an Eldrazi Temple, so that could really be 5 mana. This is 8 total mana he could be playing this turn.
It's got a Rumble, so that's...
So there's a Blade of the Blood.
There's a Blade. There's 2 Blades. There's a Haywire Mite.
Oh, that's tough. But this is where I was talking about why it's so relevant about Emery, because that Blade is an artifact. You can turn a spawn into an Emery with Agfa's Soul Cauldron, get your Broodscale out from underneath the portable hole with a Haywire Mite, and use the Emery spawn to get Blade of the Blood Chief back from your graveyard.
That is true.
But it looks like he's just going to pick up Blade here. Still having a little thing, but there is that Piffing Needle still as the ever present threat.
So he's got 7 mana to play with.
Yeah.
Right this second.
So I but
A Broodscale.
But actually, Emery's exiled, isn't it, from the Kozilek's command? So it doesn't look like that line is open. So is that?
That's a Flash Trigger.
What's that?
Having a read. Is it the Thief of Existence? A little bit of I spend too much time on Scryfall coming out.
Thief of Existence.
Yeah, I think it's a new card from MH3.
It is Thief of Existence.
God, I have no life. I don't know why I have a girlfriend. She clearly sees something in me I do not. So that
she doesn't get to look at your phone search history, mate. There you go. That's quite
normally men would be embarrassed about that, but it's just all Scryfall searches. So
she's going to go like, it's just the magic card thing. I'm safe, right? That's why she loves you.
We're never cheating. Yeah, we're too busy looking.
He's
busy playing trading card games for children. So yeah, Thief of Existence is an answer here. So it looks like he went for that Piffing Needle. I don't see it on the board anymore.
Yep, that's correct.
So that is a 3/4. That is a sizable creature.
And Gavin's still 13 life, so like the Cannoneer's not killing you now.
Yeah. And this is where removing that Emery is paying dividends, because we'd be looking at game over this turn if that Emery was allowed to stick.
Oh yeah, that would have been in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And this is what I always find quite interesting when you're seeing a combo deck win later. Like this is a really impressive display of like not rushing it, not like trying to go too all in, and taking your time, finding some of your hate pieces and setting it up later when your opponent's out of resources.
Yeah.
But a little spoiler for the chat, I think we just did peak a second Cannoneer, which I don't think ends the game, but it definitely ticks that clock down another second to midnight.
Yeah, I mean, if we're honest here, it's still an uphill battle for Gavin. He's got rid of the Pithing Needle, but there's still the opportunity of he needs to get rid of either the Portable Hole or find a Broodscale still to close this game out. And he is one card land, Blade of the Blood Chief. So it is knock the top of the deck and hope it's there.
I think the big thing is Jose just doesn't have an answer, right?
Yeah.
So Jose's like, and Jose's also seeing that the pieces are in play.
Yeah.
So I think he's just trying to figure out, is there any way I can set up a defense to you going off?
He has baubled Gavin as well, so he does know what Gavin is drawing for turn.
Yeah.
So,
and that
he's got almost perfect information here.
Yeah, and this kind of reaction to me is
It's something good.
I'm gonna have to deal with that as well as what's in front of me.
So that is
It's 2 mana tapped.
what is that?
I see it till where
Take a look.
I'm just sleep, but
I couldn't even like my scroful brain is not even helping me here.
it's saying we make the idea theory.
Take a look if we can zoom in a little.
Maybe a cyborg card.
Is that a whip flare?
No, it looks like a white card. Like a where?
It's not another dispatch.
No. This is a main deck.
Glass casket?
You guys see that?
Yeah, that's it. That's Glass Casket.
Yeah, it's a glass casket.
You know, Wilds of Eldraine special, but what we put under the casket looks like it's a.
But you took the thief.
Yeah, so you're taking the thief, so he's removing any blockers.
Okay, so unlike some other cards, so when you do then remove it, when you do remove the Thief of Existence, the card it took is gone. So,
But he does get to draw another card for getting rid of it.
Well, the Netflix.
Because Thief has got the four knots here.
yes,
So maybe just trying to see if he can maybe find a little bit more action. Maybe, setting up to try and hold up Metallic Rebuke or something. But say it's just there's.
this is a really strong card. But you know what? I really wish they'd have just gone and printed something like this in standard, right?
Yeah,
Like this, and then let it get through to Pioneer.
Yeah.
and let that sort of pipeline of players build up their modern decks through their investment.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but we're starting to see these older cards from modern history, like Dark Confidant.
Dark Confidant
is
yes.
in Final Fantasy. Liliana of the Veil was from however many sets ago now. Like, we're starting to see these old modern cards come through the standard pipeline and getting their way into Pioneer.
There's no more MH, so we don't get any power creep, right?
We don't know. So we just know that there's none on the slate. And they have said we are bad at making Modern Horizon sets, so we want to try and avoid it.
Yeah.
Which I guess it depends a lot on opinion. I'm sure chat will have some.
You can have
opinions about that.
You can have many opinions, and I think let's just let the next couple of years play out. I think
Exactly.
is the best way to say it. We've had a reset, haven't we, on everything?
Yeah.
But in the meantime, in the game, Glass Casket's taking away the blocker.
Yeah.
The Cannoneer's getting in. Gavin's gone to 5.
Bobbling again.
He's bobbling again. He knows what it is.
So just wants to see the extra card here. He has got an untapped land.
Yeah.
So that could be represented.
And an amber, so he does have 2 mana.
What are we exiling? So we can exile Haywire Might here. Oh, fantastic. We can exile Haywire Might and get back our...
Sure, we're going to get the Broodscale. We're going to get the Broodscale. Essentially, I'm wondering if Jose just is looking to try and get the counter spells out.
Yeah. So he can turn that Haywire Might and turn off that portable hole now off that Scion. that spawn even and get his Broodscale back. And then if Jose doesn't have an interaction here,
And that was great.
it's all she wrote.
It's grabbing the wall.
Now I understand why we're playing Ag the Soul Cauldron in this deck.
Soul Cauldron is basically to just give multiple attempts to get your Haywire Might back to get your Broodscale back.
Absolutely. It also does have that line of text if you can turn your Scions into tapping for mana with Delighted Halfling and stuff like that.
Let's go.
But
Say that.
just thinking it through here.
Yeah, because you got to in modern in a blue deck, you've got to respect.
So we're seeing 1, 2. Yeah, he is representing Metallic Rebuke here, but looks like that's just gonna go.
Just not going to matter.
Does he have even a consign? Oh no, she's gonna get back the. Oh no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. It's cast. Thief of Existence is a cast trigger. So a little bit of a mistake there, but it ultimately doesn't matter because he could have just chosen the portable hold initially.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can get the Thief back because it's a cast trigger, and it's not.
No, I think he's replacing that. I think that he's making the recognition.
Yeah, and it is like.
Yeah, they're making the recognition. One goes, the other one doesn't go. So,
But like I say, it's largely academic here. It's just let's play the game as is.
play it out. We watched.
Now it is. But then he's got one card in hand, so he can make an infinitely big Broodscale. But what are you doing after that? And you make an infinite mana.
Hey, let's go.
So this is also the part of the problem. Is yes, we're infinite mana. What are we doing with it?
Right.
Is there something in the graveyard that he can exile that gives him a win?
Right, I see what he's looking at. So essentially what we're saying is there's like, because don't have this, it's not like actually gaining and draining. He's got a massive Broodscale, but
He's got no Flash Raker. I presume the last card in hand isn't a Walking Blister, otherwise I think you turn it up and show your opponent here.
Why?
Yeah, you would just win. You would just take the win, right?
But maybe he's like, it looks like he's just gone, put a bunch of dice on my Broodscale, it's infinitely big, and Jose gets to one tap.
Yeah, that's good.
That is crazy. And that's a game for Jose.
Game for Jose. Like,
Jesus. Well, I mean, that was tight. It was a game of small margins, but
and I think you just have to respect the time taken to realize, like, I won't. The bobble obviously gave him sort of consideration.
Yeah.
But he also had to say, I won't die,
yeah.
so I need to make him have it. And yeah, no, on both sides, great magic from Gavin as well.
Yeah.
There was maybe just a card draw turn away at times from actually winning that. Both, obviously, Gango still on 1, Jose down to 2-0. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to send you away again to a little bit more Midwest emo and and some of our lovely background whilst we set up round 3. And me and Dave take a quick break. Won't be as long as usual, but in the meantime, enjoy, and we'll see you on the other side.
It's come on.
Thanks for watching the video. This is some action from the Severn River series. This was event 3 and we have a total of 11 happening in the southwest of England and Wales. Come join us on the 24th and 25th of May where we continue the series in Bath and Gloucester. For now, look out on the channel for more matches from this series, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content.